Another bombshell in the ongoing money laundering scandal in BC. Employees at the River Rock Casino are now being investigated over alleged links to high-profile gamblers and loan sharks. Global investigative reporter Sam Cooper continues to uncover these details and joins us now from Ottawa. Sam, thanks for joining us. This one's been going on for some time.
That's right. What our investigation has found is that Ontario gambling regulators in early 2018 started to look into RCMP's investigation, really. And what the RCMP, we know, is looking at is the loan sharks and VIP gamblers that have come from China and washed a great deal of alleged drug cash through the casinos. Some of those RCMP investigations have already been forwarded to Crown. One of them failed, another is still in the works. But what the Ontario investigators want to understand is whether employees or River Rock staff on the inside in some way facilitated these money laundering transactions for what are believed to be high-level criminals that came from China to gamble in BC.
Yeah, that is wild. I mean, do we have any idea on the number of employees? Was it a handful? Was it a lot? Do we have any idea on that side?
The investigation was triggered by reports about a VIP host in River Rock's private high-limit betting salons. The allegations reported were that this host helped facilitate, allegedly, a transaction of $200,000 in cash to a player that walked in, bought the chips, walked straight out and gave the chips to someone else. Now, under Canada's laws, that would be an alleged breach or breaking of money laundering laws. So there was an investigation by a number of parties into this employee, but what the Ontario investigators and really investigators in BC want to understand is there a wider picture inside? Is it more than just one employee? And the evidence that we found in documents is certainly more than one River Rock Casino employee has either while working, allegedly, or after working at River Rock, being involved with gangsters.
Yikes. Okay, so help, that's a key word here, because help is kind of small fish, but when we're dealing with the big fish, they're still chasing those. Where's the RCMP's probe into some of the alleged suspects here?
Again, we know that the massive e-pirate probe, which was into an alleged underground bank at the center of this action that international experts believe laundered over $1 billion per year. That investigation failed, as we know, because really the Crown prosecutors botched the case and gave away information that endangered a person. But we do know now that a related investigation into this alleged transnational crime group from China has resulted in 9 arrests. We don't know if the charges have been accepted at this point by the Crown, but we know the Crown is reviewing the evidence. That case is going forward. In some ways, we know that other cases into issues like alleged trafficking of weapons and drug trafficking around this circle of suspects continue.
Yeah, it does continue. And this file you mentioned is probably the biggest you've ever seen. This thing is massive. And I'll ask you to do this in maybe 20, 30 seconds, but where do we go from here? It seems to be bombshell after bombshell, but what's next?
Well, what we do know is that British Columbia's government knows a lot more than they have so far disclosed in terms of what the regulators knew, why the regulators didn't stop this. Should regulators be investigated? Should regulators face any criminal investigations? We also know that they know more about employees on the inside in casinos in BC. So I would say that where we need to go from here, and the Canadian public needs to see a public inquiry in BC and continued police investigations.
Yeah, wherever it goes, we know you will be there, Sam Cooper. You continue to give us some fantastic journalism here. Globalnews.ca if you want to read the full story. Sam Cooper, thanks for joining us.